Hello and welcome to Quilt Addicts Anonymous. I'm Stephanie Soebbing. Today we're going to be going over how I quilted Nightshade, our latest Stashin with Stephanie pattern. This is a fat quarter friendly pattern that also includes fussy cutting. So the pattern gives you the exact amount you need in order to get all of your center squares. But if you want a fussy cut like I did, so you can have some of your owls or whatever it is you want be front and center, just add a couple more fat quarters for that section and you'll be good to go. What I really wanted to do with this one, it's a very angular pattern, it's all strip piece, there's a lot of rectangles and sharp angles, is I wanted to soften it up and use circles. So what we're using today is we are using the Nested Circles ruler, 1.5 to 11 inch diameter set. From Quilter's Rule. And we have that available on our website, shop.quiltaddictsanonymous.com, and I'm using that within all of the fat quarters, and I'm using 2 different sizes. We'll go over that in a minute. And then I'm also using slim to create some angular texture in the background. I really love creating different textures within my fat quarter sections than my background because it helps to separate it visually with those different textures. So we've got circles all throughout this section and straight lines all throughout our background, and it really helps you visually separate everything. And it was really fun to do. Ruler work does take a lot of time, more time than just an all over free motion. But there's levels to everything on how much you're going to commit to do something. And it was a really fun one to do. I think it took me about 10 hours to do the entire thing from start to finish for quilting. And I don't think that's bad for a lap size quilt. I think that you should not be upset if you're spending the same amount of time or maybe half the amount of time putting together doing the quilting than you did piecing it, because that helps bring your pattern to life just as much as the piecing and your fabric choices. So in today's video, we're going to go over how I use the circle templates and how I use the slim to create the designs that you see on here. This version here on YouTube is going to be an abbreviated version. You're going to kind of see what I did, how I moved the ruler around a little bit. But if you head on over to our Quilt Addicts Anonymous Academy website, you can see everything in full, including just the straight long arm footage. We're really having some fun with this website. It's new to us. It contains expanded versions of our tutorials, so you can really learn how to do something. And also, because we have unlimited space there, what we're doing is we are also including like just the raw footage of me quilting. So if you really want to learn how to do this yourself, you can just watch me quilt an entire pass for an hour if you want. You can speed through things. You can, take it a little bit at a time. And so you'll hear me explaining what's going on. And then in a separate video, if you just want to watch me quilt and see how I moved everything around and worked with that, you can do that too. So it's a really great resource for you guys if you're really trying to take your quilting to the next level. But if you just want to get a sneak peek and look at a few things, then you can do so in this video here. But we highly recommend you go check out it on our Quilt Addicts Anonymous Academy. Now there's 2 versions of this. In our Nightshade tutorial, it includes the piecing and the quilting sections, and so you can get that for $9.99. If you just want to see how to quilt it, because that's really all you're interested in, then you can just get that section for $4.99. The Quilt Addicts Anonymous Academy version is also commercial free. There's no YouTube, and there's no me talking about Stashin with Stephanie or the fabric, which I'm about to do now. So Stashin with Stephanie is our subscription club that we created here at Quilt Addicts Anonymous. You get 10 fat quarters for $32.49 a month. That's about a $42 value. It varies a little bit from month to month depending on what that particular fabric manufacturer is charging for their fabric. But we send you those 10 fat quarters every month of one of the latest, best quilting lines that are out there. And I love it because I get to go through and pick what I feel is the strongest line for that month and bring it to you guys. And we try to mix it up, try to have something a little bit different every single month. This was what we did last month, and we did a lot of equilateral diamonds for that one. This one is all strip piecing and squares, so we like to try to mix up your techniques as well. And then once you get it, it's not just the bundle, you also get access to patterns. So when you join, you get a coupon code to download 12 patterns immediately from our Stashin with Stephanie collection, any 12 that you want that are a part of that Stashin with Stephanie club. So you can use that for your stash, and you can maybe get some kits that we have left over from previous months. Sometimes we sell out, so they may not hang around too long. But you can get that at 20% off when you order additional fabric or a kit from a previous one. Every month after that, you get a coupon to get 2 more patterns. So you can get the latest pattern plus another one that you didn't get when you originally signed up. And once you've been a member for 6 months, then you get access to all of our Stashin with Stephanie patterns for free. And right now that's more than a $400 value. I think it's approaching about $450 value right now. So it's a really great club to be a part of. You're going to save on your bundle of fabric. You're going to save on any additional fabric that you purchase that's been featured as Stashin with Stephanie. What we do every single month is we come up with what's called a finishing kit. So when you add the finishing kit to your bundle, you end up with a complete quilt. So that finishing kit is going to contain 5 fat quarters that you did not receive in your bundle, plus background and binding. So you can make it as we did, or you can just buy kind of a la carte if you have something different in mind for it, or maybe you want to use it with a different pattern that we've used. You never have to do anything additional or buy any additional fabric, but if you really love it, you certainly can, and you can save on it. You also get to save 20% on my 2 fat quarter books, Fat Quarter Patchwork Quilts and Fat Quarter Workshop. If you join before the end of May, then your first bundle will ship around the 22nd of June. If you wait until June 1st to join, then you're going to be waiting until July 22nd for that first bundle. That's because we ship everything at the same time the month after it's been paid for, and we release it all at the same time to give everybody the same chance of getting additional fabric, because we do sell out of the good ones like these owls, and not going to stay around for too much longer. This month's fabric is also super fun because there is metallic throughout it and a silvery spray on the white background. So it really sparkles throughout the entire quilt, and it actually was a dream to quilt. I was a little worried about it, but it went great. All right, now we're going to get into the tutorial. And again, if you don't want to sit through the entire spiel that I just did in every video, go check out Quilt Addicts Anonymous Academy. You can find it at academy.quiltaddictsanonymous.com. You can get commercial-free versions of this. You're going to get extended content that is not in this video, extended explanation, and you can also just watch like the raw footage of me quilting, so you can really see what it's like in real time. There's lots of options of things that you can get there, and there's 2 options for classes, one that teaches you how to piece it and quilt it, and one that just covers how I quilted it, if that's all you're interested in. All right, let's go ahead and watch the footage. What we do is we hook a GoPro out to my long arm, and then I talk through my quilting decisions as we go through it. So to start off, I'm using my 1.5 inch circle. That means it's 1.5 inches from edge to edge. So that is the diameter of the circle. And since we know we've been talking about ruler work, we are able to eat up 1/4 of an inch between the distance from the outside of our ruler foot to our center of our needle. So that's where that extra little bit comes in. So basically you want to choose a size circle that is 1/2 inch smaller than your square. So I'm working with the 2 inch square, hence the 1.5 inch circle. So this was fiddly. This is a really small piece to work with, and it was kind of a challenge. And I tried a bunch of different paths when I was figuring this out, and ultimately I decided I was going to do the block in 2 different sections to be as efficient as possible. So first I'm going to go over the top half of the block, but leaving that center bit where I'm going around the big square open. So I'm going to hit that in my second pass. Now I could do like every single square all at one time, but then it requires a lot more traveling over previously stitched circles. And like I said, that's a lot harder to do when you're working with a curve than when you're doing straight line. And I really only wanted to do the straight lines for my backgrounds. So that's why I avoided that. And this is, it's worth noting too, this is my third time going across the quilt when you're seeing this. It took me a while to figure out what the most efficient way to do this was, and there were a lot of thread breaks beforehand. So just because you followed a path the first time doesn't mean that that's the best path or that that's the one you need to stick with for the rest of it. And continue to feel free experimenting until you feel like you've got something that you can replicate and that can help you get through it as quickly as possible with the best results as possible, but have some fun there. All right, so you can actually see that curve wasn't as smooth as it could be because I had to pause and things kind of moved around and I didn't get them going again as well as I could have. And you know, there was a time too, like in those first couple of rows, when I was trying to hold the circle on top and it was just not resulting in smooth curves. And so even though it's more tedious and fussy to have to do those passes where you're going under the circle in 2 steps instead of just following the curve for 1, this is definitely the way to go in my opinion. Now, if you are interested in ruler work, basically once you get ruler work down, and it's basically just keeping that ruler foot in contact with your ruler at all times, you can do any shape you have a ruler for with little to no experience with that particular shape. We have a intro to ruler work course that is paid on our website, academy.quiltaddictsanonymous.com. It's called Quilt Addicts Anonymous Academy. You can take that, but you can also get it for free if you get a quilt kit that we designed to go with it for you to practice all your samples on, or the ruler kit. So if this is a ruler kit that you think you might like, it has all the sizes from it'll quilt from a 2-inch circle all the way to a 12-inch circle. So that's gonna do almost everything that you need. So you can grab that, or you can get it as part of a ruler kit set, which includes everything that you need in order to do our course. It also includes Slim, which is the other ruler that I use to quilt this video. So you can check that out over at academy.quiltaddictsanonymous.com. All right, well, that's a little taste of what we're doing. Make sure you head on over to academy.quiltaddictsanonymous.com to see the entire tutorial, where we cover using circle rulers to create a path where you can cover as much ground as possible with as few thread breaks or thread crossovers as possible, because we don't want to have to travel when we're doing curves. It's a little harder to get it straight on top than it is with straight line. We also have our intro to ruler work course, and in this week we are working on circles, so it's a great time to join that. And especially if you're thinking about getting this template, go check out our ruler work kit that goes with this. We have created a bundle of rulers for you that we use in the course, and if you get the bundle, then you do get a little bit of a discount, and then you can take our intro to ruler work course for free. So go check out all that, including the extended version of this course over at academy.quiltaddictsanonymous.com. Also, don't forget to check out Stashin with Stephanie. That's our subscription club where you can get fabric at a discount every single month, plus a bunch of free patterns and wonderful discounts, and on your fabric, patterns, books, things like that, where you can help bust your stash and get ideas to do with some fabulous new fabric every single month. Go check all that out over at shop.quiltaddictsanonymous.com, and until next time, happy quilting.